All right, welcome everyone. We're back out at West Lawrence High School talking to head coach Stacy Nobles. And Coach, thanks for taking time to speak with us. It's been about a month since we spoke. Right at the end of school, you had kids in here working out. We were talking about how West Lawrence High School won the region in weightlifting and has excelled. And you know, you mentioned to us, Coach, that if you don't lift, you don't play at West Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we appreciate y'all coming out and what y'all do for high school sports. But yeah, I mean, our kids they understand, you know, it's not an option, you know, and it can't be. I mean, with the level of competition we play, if we're not in here busting it every day and trying to, you know, make sure we don't get outworked, that's our motto. We try not to get outworked, and our kids have bought into that, and it made a huge difference for us last year. I mean, we've talked about before. We were not as big as a lot of the teams we played, but our kids are as strong as any kids around, and it's because of their work ethic and how they get after it in this weight room. And you know, so we're going. You know, when I'm here, we're going to work. That's philosophy. My coaching staff is the same way. I mean, you know, the kids have to. You know, we get the work done in here. We get the work done in here. It makes the stuff on the field. You know, makes it easy, a whole lot easier.
Yeah, and Coach, you know, in anything we do, we set goals. You set them in getting a higher education. You know, we set them in business. You set them in this weight room for these young men. They can't stay where they are. They have to progress. You're always, from what I understand, setting the bar a little bit higher for them, a little bit higher for them. You want them to work harder every time they come in here. Yeah,
Coach McLean does an outstanding job with the kids, and you know, he demands a lot from them. And you know, me and him were cut from the same mold as far as the weight room goes. Yeah. You know, we understand the importance of it, and the kids, you know, the key is getting them to buy into what you're doing. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can get stronger by leaning against that wall over there if you believe that it'll work. And you know, our kids have done that, and you know, yeah, we don't ever. You know, I tell the kids all the time, every time they're in here, if you come in and do the same things you did last week, you know, if you go as long as you did before you burn out the last week and you don't get better gradually every week, you're wasting your time. You know, it's a progression. So, you know, it's not where you start, it's where you finish, and that's the goal with us. We want to make sure that when we finish, we laying it all out there, and that again translates over to what we do on the field.
Yeah, Coach, and you know, when you're lifting and you're eating, then you're going to gain muscle, and that's one of the huge advantages, or no pun intended, but one of the advantages of lifting weights. Your kids are going to get bigger, and so how are we looking on the line this year? From what I hear, we should be a little bit larger.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the offensive line last year, you know, we were not. That was one of the smallest offensive lines we've had. You subtract Okie from that. Okie was the only one that was over 300 pounds. Right. And the rest of them, you know, the average on the line was probably around 220, 225. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a small line for us, and Okie kind of skewed that. Because we had a couple kids out there that were, actually 3 kids that started most of the year for us that were under 215 pounds, you know. So to counteract that, we got to work even harder in here. But this year, been really pleased with the offensive line. You know, we felt like we were going to be better, have a chance to be better on the offensive front this year. We did not block well at times. It was no secret last year. We struggled, especially in the run game, and we've got great running backs. So we need to make sure, you know, if we feel like if we can get better on that offensive front, you know, you ain't got to give Darius and Greg and those guys much of a hole, and they can do a lot of things with it. And they got a lot of yards after contact last year, so we want to make sure now, you know, we get them through that initial line of scrimmage. Right. Now they're making contact 5-6 yards down the field, and that increases. So that's one area that we're going to have to be better at, and we've had a really good summer so far. The kids worked hard in the spring. They pushed the sled, you know, conditioned on the indoor leg drive machine. They did a lot of that on their own this off season, and that's going to pay off. There's some size in that group. You know, we've got 4 guys coming back on the offensive line that started games for us last year. So we got a lot of experience up there now. Some of those young kids were sophomores. They've grown up now. They're juniors. So we feel like that, you know, with the experience and with the time, and they've gotten stronger in here, that should be hopefully one of our strengths on offense this year is, you know, much better offensive line play.
Yeah, and Coach, so here we are. You got 3 or 4 weeks you've been on the field, at least a couple of weeks on the field. What kind of routine are you following? Share with the public.
We go 3 days a week during the summer. We started the second week of June, and we've been going we've got 2 full weeks in now. We go from you know, we go about 3 hours a day. We lift, we condition, we go through agility stations, drills, the work quickness, and then we also work on our 7-on-7, our passing game stuff, and we've also started working on our run game, implementing that, making sure that the kids know, what we're going to do, and we try to make sure that when we put the pads on in August that that we're ahead of the game, because I mean you put the pads, you don't put the pads on to August 1st, and then we're scrimmaging Dodge County on August 14th, so you don't have a lot of time to hit between now and then, and of course we can't do any of that now. But basically now is just repetition. Going ahead and start utilizing things. June, I always use June as a conditioning month. This is the month that we really want to hammer the kids and put a good base in them as far as their conditioning levels go. And then as we get in more in July we'll throw a lot more against some other schools, go to a lot of different throwing things, and as we inch our way closer and closer to that practice, the conditioning hopefully, and it's been so hot in the June, early June. I've never had a June this hot. Right. So hopefully when we get to August, it's going to help these kids to be in much better shape, which will be a big asset for us, because we're going to have a lot of kids that are going to have to play both ways. Sure.
All right, now, Coach, what are the rules now, Georgia High School Association rules, to protect kids? What do you have to do at a practice?
Well, the practices, you got the heat. You got heat issues. You got to pay attention to the wet bulb. They have different temperatures where you can and can't do different things. When we get into the season this year, they've mandated the hitting, the amount of hitting we can do. And they're still, I still hadn't got all that completely down yet, because this is the first year we're going to have to implement that. But I know once the season starts, you can't hit you can't hit more than 30 minutes a day, which is a big difference for a lot of folks.
Huge,
I mean, that's going to take some adjusting, and to make sure we're smart on our part and getting in what we need to get in, because it basically works now to where you can't have contact at all on Mondays, and which Monday will be our install day, and then you'll go from there. But we'll have to make some adjustments, and but it'll be a level playing field. Everybody should be following the same things, so we'll make our adjustments and do what we need to do to get these kids ready to go to war in August.
Yeah, so Coach, it sounds like if that's going to be type rule, 30 minutes, you're going to have to really hit. That's all you're going to be doing is just you can't stop and instruct.
Yeah, I mean, it's it comes down to you're going to have to make sure that when you're in that 30-minute time frame that you're going to have to plan practice. Is going to have to be, and they're always planned out. We've always got practice schedules, but like you said, we're going to have to make sure we stay on schedule. Hammer out that 30 minutes of hitting, and make sure we get the most benefit out of it, to what we need to get accomplished.
What are they saying? Is that going to decrease injury for kids?
I mean, yeah, that's what they're hoping. I mean, my feeling on the matter is I don't think the kids are going to be prepared for, you want to let them hit 30 minutes a day, and then you ask them to go hit for 2.5 hours on a Friday night. I mean, I think it's going to be counterproductive, but I'm not in charge of that, so we'll play we'll play the hand we're dealt, and we'll go from there, and I'm sure they'll tweak it. There may still be some tweaks coming this summer. We don't know. So we'll like I said, we'll play what's given to us.
Right. Okay. Well, we sports fans get a little baseball right now. We're watching older games on TV and what have you. If we want to come out and see some of the 7-on-7, tell us about some of those opportunities again.
Well, we got one in June. Johnson County is coming over here. They'll probably be here around 10 o'clock on Wednesday morning. We'll throw against them for probably an hour and a half. They'll come over and give us some. That'll be our first action against another team this year. That'll be good for us. We got so much going on in June. It's hard to get all our kids out there. We got some wrestling going on. We got summer basketball. But for the most part, been really pleased with how our kids have shown up. They've been here whenever they can, and they're so that's been good. But it'll be good to throw against somebody else. We've been throwing against ourselves now for 5 or 6 six workouts, and it's always nice to get somebody else in here and kind of see where you're at. Exactly, and then we'll go. We'll have the dead week, the first week of July. We'll come back July the 7th. We go to, on July the 9th, which is a Thursday, we'll be over at Dodge County all day. That starts at 9:30 that morning, I believe. There'll be, I think, 6 teams over there that day, and we'll play 5 different games against those guys. Some good quality opponents over there.
That's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. We'll have a FCA speaker that'll give the kids a message. They'll feed them lunch over there. It's just a good deal. And then we'll go back the next Thursday, the 16th of July, I believe it is. We'll be over at Northside Warner Robins. We go over there once a year. Be some really, really good competition over there. A lot of bigger schools. And we'll throw against them. I think we'll do 6 or 7 games over there on that Thursday, and then we'll come back the last week of June. right before our workout start. The date is slipping my mind now. So I believe it's that Wednesday morning, and we're actually going to go over. Coach Fields we've set up a date. We're going to go over and throw against Trinity over at their place that Wednesday morning. Which will be good for both of us. So we've got a lot of excitement coming up, and then after that, we're starting we're starting mandatory practice on July 27th. So it's
here before you know it.
It's absolutely. I told the kids the other day, I said, y'all got 3 workouts left in June. That's it. And it's hard to believe that we're looking at the dead week already. But our kids are excited. There's a lot of excitement around the program right now. We're excited to get back on the field, and we got a great. Some great teams that we play early on, which will be a good measuring stick for us.
Yeah.
Good tester. Before we start our real season, which is in October, and when we start region play. So, we feel like with all we're going to do during the summer, and then those first that scrimmage and those first four regular season games, by the time we get to October, good Lord willing, we'll still be healthy, and our kids will be ready for to defend this region, their region crown.
Right. All right. Now, Coach, a lot of people looking at last year, we had Justin had a tall guy. We're wondering, okay, what type of passing attack will we have this year? Will we be doing more play action?
Well, we're not going to give out all our secrets but we're going to do. We're the type of team where our goal has always been to run the ball first, and like we've said a bunch of times, we're blessed with some great running backs.
Right.
We got 2 that are already proven, and we got a couple more that we feel like can be really great as well. So we got some depth in the backfield this year. We're really excited about the fullbacks we got coming back. So we're going to be a team that tries to run the football in a lot of different formations, and then like you said, play action is going to be huge for us. We got a pretty good quarterback competition going on right now,
Good.
and we got some capable guys that know our offense and that are going to be able to step in. They're not going to be able to do exactly what Jarrell does, but they'll have some strength that Jarrell didn't have. So we got some new wrinkles that we're putting in this year. We're not changing a whole lot of things. We're going to do what we do, which is try to establish the run. And if we can do that, that's going with the running backs we have and how we feel like we're going to be up front. Play action is going to be deadly, and all we got to do is be able to throw enough to take pressure off the running game, and that'll put a lot of pressure on defenses and take it off of us. So the best thing for an inexperienced quarterback is to have a good running game, and we're blessed to have that. So that's going to be our forte, which it's always been. We got to find ways to get the ball into Greg's hand and the Darius' hands, and then we got Isaiah Mormon, who's going to be a junior, who's going to be a special player as well. So we got some weapons back there, and now we're going to have some receivers. But that's the good thing, that all this 7-on-7 will be great for these quarterbacks. It'll be great for these young receivers that we got coming up. And, somebody's going to have to step up. We don't expect any of our kids to be Justin Smith. Justin Smith was a once in a he's a very rare athlete.
Sure.
But we're going to do things to put our kids in the best position to win football games, and that'll be hubbed around a good running attack.
Sure.
And if we can do that, we feel.
And you've been successful at that last year.
We have.
Moving forward, I'm sure you will be again this year, Coach. Coach, if we're looking on now, right now is the time where everybody needs to be getting involved with the program. The booster clubs sent out information to most people who were booster sponsors last year. So let's just encourage people if maybe they didn't get the information.
Yeah, if you don't have the information and you want to join the booster club and get behind these guys, you can get in touch with me or Coach Clayton, Mr. Garnto. We'll all send you in the right direction. Our kids are working extremely hard. The support we had at the end of the year last year was phenomenal. It was something that these kids, folks don't understand how awesome that is when you get out to St. Pius and you got more fans than they got. That's the type of stuff. If we can do that every week, it could be a whole lot of fun around here. But these kids, they need that. They deserve that. And hopefully the community will get behind us. They won't wait till we get on a roll in the playoffs. They'll get behind us from the beginning. And, our whole goal these last 4 years is to get pride back in West Lawrence football, and I think we've done that. And now the goal is, you've gotten to the top, so now we got a few more steps we got to take. And it's a lot of times it's harder to stay up at the top than to get there. So we got to make sure, and that's the thing. Our kids are so motivated, they're excited, they're working their rear ends off. So come out and support these guys, get involved, get behind all the athletics here at West Lawrence. Man, we got great kids that really work hard and want to put a good product on the field for our fans and the Raider Nation. So we're man, I can't wait to August, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it'll be here before we know it.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Thank you for your time, Coach, and
sir,
thanks
man.
for building up and making West Lawrence Raider football what it is.
I just praise God for the opportunity to be here as always. It's a great place to be, and I love our kids and excited to be a Raider.